Hey, welcome back to the Foolery Show, where we take sad topics and try to make them sound positive. Alright, first up today. In 2018, the U.S. ranked number 33 out of 36 of all the countries for the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development for infant mortality. So this is a pretty, more embarrassing fact because the U.S. Is one of the richest nations and yet is 33 out of 36? Like, how unconscionably of that is, right? Well, that doesn't make sense. But I think what this says about our country is we do not pride ourselves on infants. You know, we're not just here to save babies or a high precedence on, let's just make every baby succeed. It shows that the country has a different precedence on the living. Make the people best as possible, not necessarily make sure every child makes it out. So it also breaks the whole idea that, we always care about our kids. It's just not true, as we let many of them die. And so this is kind of positive in the way of breaking popular propaganda and showing that people that are currently living, that are suffering, can say that, no, we are taken care of by our government, because clearly we do not emphasize other things. We care about my current self. Second topic, a study from the Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation found that as of 2016, the U.S. ranked 27th in the world based on education and healthcare, behind other countries like Finland, Iceland, Denmark, and the Netherlands. So this is another one of, the U.S. should be doing better because we have so much. But I think this is a study of what humans are. America has different priorities. America is founded on different principles. And definitely the people act differently. For more of rabid or this concept of liberty and freedom, despite things that might be better. So right now, we agree that education and healthcare are extremely important because each individual is very positive. You don't want to get sick. You don't want to die. Right? And you want to be more educated so you know how to do those things or do more of those things and don't get involved in that. But maybe that's not actually what the people want. Maybe you say you want it. Maybe you say that that's a good thing. But maybe it's not a good thing. Maybe it's more important for us to do other things. Or maybe that shatters the grand delusion that we are the richest country or we are using our money for the right things. And maybe it's a wake-up call to change our country for the better. Because, wait a minute, you do want these things. How is that feeling not getting through? And that's a positive thing moving forward. Next up, SeaWorld treats orcas, killer whales, cruelly to breed them and train them, and house them in pools which are much too small for them, for primarily entertainment purposes. I think this is the most human thing of all. Cruelty in terms of humanity is, doing something that a human wouldn't enjoy. But you gotta realize that, people and animals in the wild have a very different experience. If they weren't in SeaWorld being fed and doing, sure, it seems cruel just to keep them in tanks and make them do spins, and maybe it's not their natural habitat. Maybe they don't have a good experience as far as we're concerned. But as far as nature concerned, maybe it's fantastic. Maybe they would have died of starvation because we've been overfishing. Maybe they would have died because the water's not good. Maybe they could have died for so many reasons. But SeaWorld actually, keeps them alive, keeps them bred, keeps them perpetually alive as a species. And of course, how they finance that is doing entertainment. So that could very well be the most beneficial thing for the species. All right, next up, we have the Amazon rainforest is one of the Earth's most biodiverse places, home to over 3 million species, and vital to absorbing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. However, since 1978, about 1 million square kilometers, or 386,000 square miles, of the Amazon rainforest have been destroyed. Now, this is part of the whole global climate change, global thing, and this is a pretty big negative upon the whole human species. No one realizes it, but the future is going to get much worse if this continues at a certain rate. So how could this ever be good? Well, I think it brings up a globalization perspective. We've all been so locked in our own minds, our own houses, our own things. What's best for me? I want what's best for me, and I don't care what happens to anyone else. Well, it looks like nature has dealt us a deal. This could end us, could very well end the human species. And what it does is it forces us all finally to work together. Nation, doesn't matter. We're all in this together. We can't just say, oh, I want more water or I want more oil. No, if we just destroy all this rainforest, we won't be able to grow our crops. We won't be able to, live in a very good area. We won't be able to live anymore. Our maximum potential will be reached and we'll die out. And we can see this. And so, this is the greatest. It's a horrible thing that we've done, but it's a greatest opportunity for humans to come together and solve a problem as a species, which I'm not sure has ever been done before as a general whole, which is an amazing opportunity, which we can. All right, getting more into the more global climate change stuff. Up to 1 million plant and animal species face extinction, many within decades, because of human activities. Without drastic action to conserve habits and habitats, the rate of species extinction already tends to hundreds of times higher than the average across the past 10 million years, will only increase. Now, this is connected to what we previously talked about in that species dying out is something that we do not like. And we see this as a bad thing because, wow, look at the change we've made. But you got to realize each species has a time, just like humanity will have its time. The biggest arrogance of humanity is thinking that preserving these species will do anything. We've already changed the world. Our very existence and our population has changed the world. And these species die out because they no longer fit with that world. Is it cruel that we've existed and we exist at such great number? Maybe. But it's just how it is. There's no doing these types of things, preventing these species from dying out is a key problem for the future. You realize these species dying out are not just because they're dying out. It's so new species can come up. We've created a different world. We have a different world now. So the next species will come up and become stronger and help us succeed. And by allowing these species or protecting these species, we've actually tried to hide our own human experience from the rest of the world. When we all know it's not like that. Keeping for example, a panda alive despite it not being attuned to the world actually makes that whole species weaker because now they can never overcome. They can never evolve. They can only be our pet. They can only exist in a habitat that we construct for ourselves, which maybe is the crueler fate than just realizing that this is how it's going to be. And just like that, that's the end of our topic today. Any comments, questions, or new topics you'd like to send us, please send us to the foolery club at gmail.com.